Let's talk now to Kingsmill Bond, an energy strategist at the think tank Ember. Kingsmill, welcome back. Good to see you. So this fourth plenum discussing the 15th five-year plan. I mean, just from an outside perspective, how significant are these plans historically in shaping China's green goals?
Well, they are, of course, vital, as your correspondent Jem just pointed out. The last one was the prelude to an absolutely extraordinary surge in Chinese electrotech deployment. So, yeah, we're watching it with bated breath.
President Xi recently announcing China's first absolute emissions reduction target, cutting greenhouse gases by between 7 and 10% by the year 2035. Just how meaningful is that?
So this is extremely significant because OECD greenhouse gas production has been falling actually since 2008. China is the pivot nation in the global system. So as soon as China goes from peak to decline, which is the implication clearly of President Xi's statements, it's a very significant moment. The other point to be made generally is that China tends to exceed, unlike most countries, China tends to exceed its targets. So in fact, we think that as so often in this transition, China is likely to far exceed the targets that are being set.
We're seeing the United States rolling back on climate commitments. I mean, does China see an opportunity to position itself as the global leader on climate?
Well, China is the global leader in the deployment of the core solutions to solve the climate problem. So it is de facto the global leader. It produces 90% of the technology. And as a number of people have pointed out, the Chinese $200 billion of investment in FDI, in electrotech, in the emerging markets and in other countries is the same size as US Marshall Plan. So this is a massive commitment of China to deploy this technology all across the world. It's very significant.
And it is the story about the wider benefit, isn't it? This isn't just a China story.
Yeah, it's a global story. So what China's doing is two things. It's both sort of showing what can be done, how you can deploy solar and wind, how you can electrify your end demand, where China is a definitely inspirational leader. And it's also providing the technology very, very cheaply, so that other countries, notably Pakistan most famously, but also actually increasingly and recently sub-Saharan Africa is deploying Chinese solar panels. And we're now seeing this electric vehicle market where China's gone from nowhere 6 years ago to be the leader in global car exports, and is now Chinese EVs are now pouring into the emerging markets with market share of electric vehicles now reaching 70–80% in some of these jurisdictions. So it is a real opportunity for other countries to leapfrog to a superior energy system. And it's also worth saying that for these countries, these energy technologies are harnessing domestic sunshine and domestic wind and domestic electrification. So it is actually for these countries a way to escape fossil fuel dependency as well.
Kingsmill, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming back on the programme. Kingsmill Bond, the energy strategist at the think tank Ember.